All right.
Y'all been playing besides Destiny and Forza?
I just been on that Forza, man. I haven't stopped. I've put everything down.
Myself, but we're good now. Dude, what do you mean besides Destiny or Forza? Those are like the two most addicting games right now, man.
Well, no, you got Cuphead, but I haven't played anything. Now, Shadows of War is awesome for what I played, but I wanted to just get a look at it, and I'm like, I'll get to it after I get done with
the ball, man.
Oh man, you gotta love football. Yo, Mega, did you stop real quick? Like Predator was talking to you, like throw the ball, man. It's like what?
Yeah. No. He's watching the game.
Yeah. Are you doing the same thing right now, Mega?
Yeah, I'm just keeping my cool.
Oh goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, what is going on, everybody in the chat? Welcome to the Next Podcast pregame. I don't know. We got two people watching college football right now. You know, definitely dedicated in that. You have me just talking off the air about Destiny 2. I would like to say we do have a special guest. We were short a couple people, and our boy Saltiest Gaming decided that he was going to stop in, so we definitely appreciate that. What's up, Salty?
Yo, just keeping it real, man. Drinking my Monster. I'm not watching football right now, but I can see where they're at with that. I'm a big football fan as well.
Oh, man. You know what was funny? I think it was as soon as Halo 5 dropped, right? Dude, I used to look forward to NFL Sundays. I used to call them Noob Sundays because everybody that like seemed to have any talent when it came to like Halo and playing multiplayer, you know, they were watching their football games. And dude, I would go in and rake in on those like 11 or 12-year-old kids that never really played the game and stuff, man. That's where I got most of my Spartan rank from.
Aren't you taking advantage of them little young kids,
yes,
man?
I was, man. It's video games.
They gotta learn.
They're gonna learn today.
I hope I taught them a couple lessons though, for real.
I'm about to rage quit, probably.
I think at some point in time I gotta do a video though where I'm gonna tell people how Halo helped me be pretty decent at Destiny 2. But Destiny 2 will make you really sloppy at Halo. It's a weird thing, man.
Yeah, because the aim assist is one of those things.
Dude, you get kind of you get a little laxed, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially the Iron Banner, was it the auto rifle, the forward path?
Oh, I don't have the game.
Yeah,
so
I was waiting for Salty. It's got like a 71 aim assist.
Yeah, it's like auto aim on that.
Yo, it's got 71 aim assist. Yo.
Oh, damn.
It has that perk where, like, when you start pulling the trigger, it helps you aim as well. So it's called the auto aim gun.
Yeah.
In the community, it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, so many people are like, "Yo, I gotta get that gun."
No, I can tell you firsthand, like, I'm good at Destiny PvP, but I suck at Halo. So, you know, there's an example there.
Yeah. Nice. Oh, what is going on, Cyberbat, man? If this is your first time watching, this is the pregame. It is good to see you in the chat, along with everybody else from the community. Of course, we got the moderator of the year, Mr. UK Dazarus.
What's up, UK? Oh my goodness, I just seen something amazing. Oh man. I just seen that they have a Tekken movie, and it's a second part. It's Kazuya's Revenge. What's going on here? What is this?
So excited about that.
Dude, anything Tekken.
I'm looking at it right now. It's on Showtime Beyond. Like, what's going on here?
Yo, like, Mega, I was gonna
find this and watch this whole thing.
I was gonna make this meme for you, man. You know that movie It, when you see Pennywise in the gutter.
Yes.
I was gonna put on the top. I was gonna put K Mega, and then on the bottom it was like, we have everything Tekken down here.
Oh man, I would get got then. You have what? And then my big ass would be going right in there. My big ass That's gonna be going right in that hole.
Call you Georgie, man.
Yeah, call me Georgie. I will be right in that hole. Let's go. Tekken for life.
Oh goodness.
Oh man. So what have you been playing other than you playing anything else other than Destiny? You sold your soul to the
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Sometimes I stay up late at night and I think what have I done? But no, it's been Destiny 2 and it's been Forza Motorsport 7. These are the two most addicting games right now. Like that I have a 2-game rotation going on.
I just got one. I mean, I put everything down. I just can't stop it until I get the cup. I'm on the last one, but
You're in the last series already, man?
Yeah, I'm in the last series.
Oh shoot.
And I've already done three races, but it's tough. It's tough, Jack. Boy, it's tough. You know, because I got my shit turned up
system off and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. So, you know, it's just, but
it's
all good.
My list of topics ready.
So yeah, no, I mean, just it's a special game. Forza 7 is a special game. I can't say enough about how I haven't been addicted to a racing game like this. I mean, I've said this before, since GT3, man, and it's like. I just want more, and after I get done with that, I'm finna jump on the line and just see what I'm doing with that, man. I'm addicted to this game, and like I said, I'm more into the Horizon, more arcadey style racers, with a lot of craziness going on. But this game is just so well made, man. I can't stop playing.
Nice. It's good to see that, because when it Turn 10, man, does an incredible job with these closed circuit racers called Motorsport. And it's funny because the Don was more of a Motorsport fan until Forza Horizon 3. And then, he didn't really deal with the Horizon series. And, Mega, my Next Podcast brother, it's kind of like the opposite way around, man. He was a Horizon fan until Motorsport 7 like really brought him into that closed circuit. So that's freaking cool right there, man.
Yeah, I mean they bridge the gap. I mean it's just so well made. It's more of the scenery and things of that nature, man. I mean I don't know. I'm pretty sure we'll get to talk about GT Sport and our thoughts on it.
Oh my goodness, you talking about the cardboard backgrounds?
Come on, man. Don't be messy. Don't start getting messy now.
Dude.
Messy already.
Yo, you know what's funny, man? Yo, there's some people that have to eat some major, it's not even crow. We're going to take it a step above. Raven, all right?
Oh.
There's some people out there that got to eat some major Raven because when it came to Forza Motorsport 5, they were like, oh, look at those 2D people in the 7th aisle over there in the corner, like, right? And then you look at GT Sport, and let's just be honest. There's a lot of 2D going on those tracks, man.
A lot of 2D going on outside those tracks. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Well, if that's the case, man, let me get this intro up and going over here. I don't know. You guys ready to check out the intro, yeah?
Yo, let's listen to it, man.
Let's get popping.
Oh, we got a little flavor with that.
Oh,
I like it.
We got to.
What's going on, people, and welcome to another episode of the Next Podcast. Guys, I gotta say, I am feeling very comfortable, very relaxed tonight, and I love the list of topics that we have got to go through for everybody checking the show out. As usual, huge Huge shout out to the chat. Thank you everybody for coming and checking us out live. But you know, we can't do the topics until we do the intros. And I'm going to introduce, coming live from the 405. And you know, he's just trying to talk to the intelligent gamers out there. Of course, it's K Mega!
Cheers! Salutations, because I got my German beer, my Optimator, and I'm ready to sip and get crunk and have a good time talking about these topics and sit here and watch as OU in Texas gets, well, never mind. Boomer Sooner, baby. That's all I can say. Boomer Sooner. Boomer Sooner. That's all I can say.
Dude, how far into the game is it? I gotta know. Is it after halftime? What's going on?
Oh, it should be almost over. I can't watch it right now. I don't know what happened. I just got a blackout. I don't know what the hell happened.
As soon as Next went live.
It's close. Yeah, I'm looking for. That's why it made me change the channel, because I was like, where the hell did it go? So I don't know what the hell's going on. They're showing some other crazy shit right now. I have no idea what Fox Southwest is doing. So, yeah, but I think it's still 29-24. It's definitely in the fourth, but I don't know what happened. So now, I was watching the OSU game, the Oklahoma State and Baylor, and the OSU is killing Baylor right now. So anyway,
nice. Well, I gotta kind of mix this up. So I'm gonna introduce our special guest tonight. Like I said, he was kind enough to come in. We're short on people and stuff, and I just want to let you know some of the comments to some of these topics. They might get a little salty because it is Saltiest Gaming.
Yo, what is up, my fellow gamers? It's Saltiest Gaming. I'm back on the Next Podcast, and I'm ready to get it popping. Let's get there's some good topics tonight, and I'm super excited to be back on the show.
Nice.
Thanks for having me.
Nice, man. Yeah, like I said, we were short. Yo, you were the first person I thought of, man. I'm glad you said yes right away. I really do appreciate that, man. I can't wait to hear your opinions on these things. Especially, I'm thinking Loot Crate is going to be something that us four guys, we really get in on, because there's been this whole kind of like whirlwind about these games lately, man. So I can't wait to hear about that. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go next on the list, man. And he is a little he might be a little under the influence of some prescriptions, because this dude is an Iron Man. Let's shout out the assassin of the Next Podcast when it comes to the gaming media. Yes, I am talking Predator.
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm a little high right now off some Oxycontin. So, I had surgery yesterday, if anybody didn't know, on my knee, and did a podcast. I think Thursday.
Our boy Z might be running to your house right now, man. Don't do that.
So a little tired now, so I'm still here though, but we got some topics to talk about tonight, so let's get it going.
Nice, man. Again, coming in after surgery, man, it is awesome to have you on. You could have definitely taken a day off, and nobody would have even blinked an eye, but you are like I said, you're Iron Man. You're here, man. So,
True vet. Okay, I found the game. They switched channels. What the hell? What's going on? Okay, anyway, I'm good. All right, we sit here. 11 seconds left. Woo! Let's go.
All right. Well, here's the deal. We're gonna start with some good news, man. It's about this title called Cuphead. All right, and there's been people, pro Xbox gamers, just gamers in general, because let's be honest here. It took a while for this game to come out. And when the game came out, a lot of people got a lot of praise from a lot of people, and for its difficulty, kind of going back to the roots of gaming and stuff like that. But I gotta admit, I wasn't sure how well it was gonna sell because of how long it took to come out or whatnot. Now, it just came out in the news that it in 2 weeks it went up over 1 million copies sold, and I gotta ask, man. Let me hit Salty first. When it comes to over 1 million sold on Cuphead, did you expect to see those numbers? And do you think it's going to get that much bigger moving forward?
With this game, I've said it before. I play Dark Souls, so I'm into that die, learn the boss's moves, or just learn from like past experiences and then move forward and then master a game.
Mm-hmm.
And then second of all, I'm an artist at heart. I drew as a kid. I drew cartoons and stuff like that. So this game speaks to me. But as far as selling 1 million copies this fast, I don't know. I personally didn't think it was going to be moving this fast. But as you can see on YouTube with, popular YouTubers like, Angry Joe giving it a 10 out of 10.
Yo, I couldn't
and
believe
all these
that,
media
man.
outlets. That blew my mind because he doesn't normally do that if you watch his show. So this game is kind of a cultural phenomenon. It was funny last night. Me and Fonz were in a party with one of my friends, Ned, and he's kind of this conspiracy theorist.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, only hipsters like this game because it's not graphically that impressive and, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about, man. This game is beautiful. The gameplay is awesome. People are saying it's too difficult at times, but if you notice, there's always patterns in the game that you can learn, and it's not going to be throwing something at you that you can't predict, if that makes sense. So I'm super happy for. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it makes sense to me, man. Growing up, I had an older brother, right, and we used to play regular Nintendo. He was into a bunch of like flying games and stuff, and there was an over the top kind of helicopter game called Tiger Heli, right?
Mm-hmm.
And me and him used to take turns going back and forth on that game, and it was all about patterns because there was just so many enemies to shoot, only so many ways you can go, directions and stuff like that. So I see exactly what you're talking about, Salty.
Yeah, I'm on the third island. I'm kind of taking it slow. Plus, I die a lot. So there's kind of a controversy on Twitter. Someone posted that how many times they died and they got called out for it, which I don't think's necessary with that game because it's kind of a learning process.
Mm.
But man, I'm on that junkyard. It's like a robot, and he's going into like multiple phases and shooting all kinds of stuff at you. And I'm sure I'm gonna be on phase, but man, it is. I can't remember a game that like I've wanted to go back and continue to play over and over again like this game,
Yeah, I got you. I'm probably the only one on this panel who hasn't picked it up, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there as well. I don't know. Yo, Mega, what do you think about the success of Cuphead? I know, in my opinion, man, a lot of times like that new IP, the first game doesn't usually do that well, which is why I thought Sunset Overdrive was, that was going to get a sequel like a no-brainer. A couple other, new IPs for the Xbox One. But what do you think about the Cuphead success? And do you think it's got, more legs left in it, man?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and especially once you get the online co-op to the game, it's just going to be more people that's going to buy the game. I'm pretty sure the game is going to have some kind of sale during Black Friday, which is going to gravitate more people to it. This game it's here, and it's a new Xbox IP that people have been asking for and that we've been waiting for since the first time that we've seen it, and it's lived up to the billing. So sky's the limit for the dev team that's made that game, and watch, you'll start seeing a lot of copycats coming off of this because it's that fun, and it brings you back the nostalgia of what gaming used to be like when you go back to the old Mega Mans, to Ghosts and Goblins.
Mm-hmm.
You name Rygar, you just name it. It's just those harder games that you just got to keep coming back, and you feel rewarded when you beat the boss or just minions, whatever. It's just an awesome game.
Dude, I gotta say the chat is starting to go about Cuphead Girl. I think that might have accounted for a few sales right there. But Mega, what do you think about the people on Twitter? I know you deal with a lot of the same people I deal with and such. So what do you think about the people on Twitter that is just, they're giving all the credit to the Steam version of Cuphead? Do you have anything to say about that, or to them, or anything?
Just go back to what you'll see with Nier Automata, with just a whole Tales of Vesperia, just countless other games that's been ported over to Street Fighter V. I mean, because it was at one time that there were more sales on the Steam on Steam than there were on the PlayStation 4 at one time. I don't know what the sales are now, but it only sold like 1.1 million. It was the lowest ever. So hell, I don't even think it hit 1 million until after season 2. So regardless, that shouldn't even matter because it's unlike some of the third parties that PlayStation has, like Nier Automata, and Hellblade. Those are third party games. This is an Xbox game. This is being played on a Xbox on a Microsoft platform, and Steam is nothing more but an app. And so therefore you can say all you want to about how many people bought it, but that money is still going to Xbox and going to Microsoft's pockets and for future revenue for whatever they're going to do for the future of whatever games they want to do or for that specific game itself.
I got you, man. It's just it does, being
Let
on
them cry. Let them cry.
Yeah, I was gonna say being on YouTube and everything and being a gamer, like sometimes, man, it gets kind of tiring. You see the success of a brand new game that's doing something different. It's got a different art style. They're going back kind of like to the harder games that like I grew up on, and they built the foundation of this game on that. And one of the first things you see people on Twitter is like, well, it's all because of Steam and stuff. And it's like, well, the success of this game almost guarantees that. First off, you're going to have other devs trying to do different things like that as well. It might not be the 1930 cartoon style, but they might start making games that look more like the Darkwing Ducks and stuff like that, just really look like that and have that harder style to it as well. It opens up the door for developers to kind of flex out in that direction, which is great. You know what I'm saying? And just to see people always kind of bring it back to that console war. Sometimes... it's straight bullshit, man. Let's just be honest.
It's idiotic. It's idiotic. It's childish because, it's a successful game. It's a successful game. I mean, it's no different. I can remember, we were talking about this last night about Lost Legacy, the Uncharted DLC, how it sold close to 600,000 copies in the first week. And that is looked at as a success and great for that game, great for the Uncharted series. I can't hate on that. But when other games that's hit 600,000, 700,000 to the fanboys and girls, they look at that as, oh, that's a fail. That's a fail. Oh, no, that's horrible. So, I mean, make up your mind. I understand that a lot of people bought Uncharted 4 themselves and may have played for the DLC beforehand, but they're just going off of the hard copy sales of whatever that they have right now, and it's a success. If they say it's a success, then it's a success. They're making money off of it. It's a positive thing for gaming. Damn.
Yeah, I don't think they were thinking about that number of units within that amount of time when it comes to Cuphead. It's a smaller game. It did take a while to make, but the hype just started going crazy, before release and stuff. And they wrote it, man. And from what I hear, from my friends list and stuff like that, it's absolutely a quality game. Let's get Predator's thoughts and opinions on this, man. Over 1 million, 2 weeks, Cuphead. Did you call it? And do you think it's got a lot more sales, like kind of like in its back pocket for the future?
I think they got some more stuff in the works for this game, maybe some DLC and stuff like that'll help increase its numbers. But I'm not gonna lie, I was a little worried when they kept pushing it back that it was going to be one of those games that kind of fell to the wayside.
Dude, because that's where I lost my interest, man.
Because a lot of people lost interest because it was taking so long to come out. We've heard about this game since 2013, so and as as E3 came out and people started playing it and started getting their hands on it, and it did well. I mean, the people that are buying it on Steam, so what? Big fucking deal for them. I mean, they had another avenue to purchase it on. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and there was kind of like saying maybe it was last Friday night. I was kind of drugged up, but they were talking about should you be upset with the the Xbox gamers and the Windows 10 PC the crossplay, the Play Anywhere guys that picked it up on Steam. I mean, no, not really. It's all money going to Microsoft at some point in time, so it's not a big deal.
Right.
So, can you imagine how it feels to be those brothers on the development team, like from the ground up, like how much risk they took with this game, and where it started to where it is now? I think it's mind blowing the kind of success that they're having. I wish we could have like a a sit down interview with those dudes? Because I'm sure that story is interesting, right?
Oh yeah,
they mentioned it somewhere. I think they told what happened, like how they kind of quit their jobs and stuff to get this game out.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, and that's kind of why I just on Twitter I'm just on to another 2 million, because people that take risks like that in life and put it all on the line for what they believe in, I give props to those people, and I wish them all the well,
Yeah.
But I don't understand why people are so invested in sales numbers. Like, are these people getting paid?
No.
Like, what's the motivation, people?
It's the thing about just want to keep people just want to feel because they're on the winning side in sales numbers that they feel that everything that's got to be related to sales is a success to them. It just shows how much they're invested into things that is really beyond our control. It's basically it's bullshit. Instead of them actually playing these games, buying them, supporting these people, that's all they want to do is just talk about what's good for that platform, and it's disgusting, man. It's disgusting behavior.
It's funny if we talk about if sales were the only measurement on a successful or a great game, then Call of Duty is just the greatest game ever every year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's Minecraft, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh Minecraft, that's platinum right there, man.
Yeah, I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so
my question now is like, what is Studio MDHR gonna do next besides a sequel? I mean, Cuphead, they're gonna make maybe branch this out to like a 3D type Mario style game or what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting because they went in such a fresh direction when it came to visuals and stuff like that. Like, where would they go after this game,
Yeah. Just curious.
I saw an interesting poll on Twitter. I don't know who it was, but they're like, should Cuphead and Mugman be the new Scots for Xbox? And I think a lot of people forget that Microsoft doesn't own the IP. They just help develop the game, fund it. Mm-hmm. So it should be interesting to know or to see in the future, because I know a lot of people are just kind of, projecting for the future and saying, Cuphead is going to be on all platforms. But it's interesting to see if Microsoft that IP up or tries to seal the deal with that, MDHR, because they're such a talented group, All
right, well,
so it should be interesting.
When it comes to cartoony mascots, I the hype for Cuphead is strong, and I get, rightfully so. A lot of people said the game is great. I feel like they already, when it comes to a cartoony mascot, they already have something in the back pocket. They kind of did a little bit of a remaster of it, and it's Voodoo Vince. I feel Voodoo Vince, if you're gonna pick a cartoony mascot, because we got Master Chief, we got the Phoenix family and stuff like that in terms of the more serious. Dude, Voodoo Vince can be that cartoony mascot that goes crazy, dude. That's what I think. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't think so. I'm not like a big Voodoo Vince fan. Like, it's not really like a common game for everybody.
Conquer, maybe? I don't know. They own the rights to Conquer. He might be.
Cameo, I would think, would be a really good character. I mean,
the girl or the like each character that she could turn into.
The girl in her abilities, I mean, everybody can pick their individual favorite ability that she likes. If they like to be the big thing, I look like a Sasquatch. I don't know what the hell that thing is. And you know what I'm saying, and whatever else, you know what I'm saying, and all the rest of the boxing, things she has.
The boxing lead,
yeah, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But I mean, just herself, she could be, an added person. Super Lucky's Tale. Ori is fantastic.
Oh,
done well.
Ori. Yeah, they came out with plushies for Ori as well. I want to get one of those, man.
I have to agree with Predator on that one. Like, Voodoo Vince. I have Voodoo Vince, and I played a little bit of it. It's cute, but it's something that's going to be on my back burner. It's not something that I wanted to just keep playing continuously. So I don't think it's going to get that type of appeal. Super Lucky's Tale could be surprisingly, not maybe a hit, but it could surprise people on its sales numbers.
Excuse Minecraft Steve.
Yeah.
Minecraft Steve, yeah.
Well, Minecraft, like plushies and toys and stuff, they still sell incredibly. And if you don't believe me, you could just ask the 9-year-old twins, or come over. We'll all go to the toy store with the twins, and you see exactly where they go first, and it's Minecraft. All that Minecraft stuff.
Nope.
So.
That's why they snatched up that IP, man.
Yeah, dude.
People are like, well, why are they paying $2 billion for that? It's like, dude, the merchandising alone for that game, it's a money machine, man.
Dude,
I'm telling you.
Money back. I think it was within a year or less. They made that money back for picking that up, dude. That's insane.
Yeah, and that's why, like, with Cuphead, it's so marketable. It's just, you can put it on mugs, shirts, you can have plushies. That's why it potentially could be something that they could look at in the future. I'm not sure that they will, or even that the studio wants to go to that direction, but it is very marketable. Cuphead and Mugman. It's awesome.
Yeah, and
I love it. If you haven't played it.
I think the hype is at a really big level now. I feel like, you know, the $20 price point is another great factor that really put into these sales, because it was just a decision that was that much easier because of the price point as well. And from what I've seen, people are getting a lot of gameplay out of it, because it's not just a you know, hold your hand and walk you through the game type thing. It is something that you have to master. You have to learn the routines and stuff like that, and it does bring a lot of people back to when they started playing video games. So that's awesome right there, man. I hope the other developers see the success of this and they start doing that more. You know, get rid of some of these checkpoints and stuff like that, man. Make the games rougher again. I feel like, you know, when it comes to the new gamers today, like they get things kind of handed to them on a silver platter a little bit, except for Dark Souls.
Yeah. Well, you know, when I beat Ratchet and Clank, it was easy. I played it on the hardest difficulty until it got towards the end, when you kind of fought the second to last boss, and then when you fought the main boss, that was challenging, but you had to figure it out. But it was cool. I really did like how you fought the last boss. You had to do a lot of jetpacking around and stuff. You know, I think if people just don't want to get a challenge, they just need to go back to giving the I mean, they still do that, you know, just easy, normal, hard, ultra hard, you know, just give people variety if they don't want to go through all that challenge. I mean, because some people get too frustrated with games and then they don't want to play them. So you know, but that's the beauty of Cuphead, though. Cuphead just it makes people want to come back.
Nice.
I mean, but so did Flappy Bird. And I don't know what the
So,
Yo, Flappy Bird.
Oh, Flappy Bird, dude.
that is something I didn't expect to hear tonight, by the way.
My God,
Flappy
dude.
Bird.
Hey, but real talk, you know where Studio MDHR dropped the ball? What they could have done is they could have put microtransactions in the game. So if you can't get past the boss, you pay a certain amount of money, and then you get through it, right?
Dude, that is such a nice segue. I think I'm going to roll with that, man. You know, a lot of talk has gone on about loot crates, microtransactions. You have people doing game reviews for microtransactions that aren't even in the game yet, and you see everywhere I turn when it comes to the gaming media, there's loot crate this, loot crate that, and like how it's ruining games. No, I believe Shadow of War came out, and I believe there is a microtransaction system in that. Is that correct, guys? Because I didn't pick it up.
I didn't pick it up.
You didn't pick it up? Anybody pick up the game?
Pick up which one? Which game?
Shadow of War.
What, Shadow? Oh yeah, I got it. Yeah,
you got it. And there is a microtransaction system in it, right?
Yes, it is. But I got the gold edition, so you know.
Oh, excuse me, sir.
Hey,
man, you came ready, huh?
Come on, man. Don't do like that. I mean, I'm over here. I'm begging for maybe Destiny or you know.
Dude, I am so hoping somebody gets you Destiny too, man. If I come across an extra like $60 or so, you're gonna have to get the pass yourself. All right. But if I get across the $60 or so, man, I want to get you that game. But
so I haven't picked up the game personally, but I have a friend that has, and he spent over $100 on the microtransactions. So
already?
Yes, he was bragging about it.
Is the people in his city or town that he lives in, do they have the pitchforks and the torches? Are they going to his house because he spent so much on a single player experience?
Seriously, I mean, once he let that out, I was worried he's going to get DDoSed or something like that by all the community.
That's crazy,
man.
Yeah, no, it's for everything that you get out of the gold pack. I know I watched some stuff on IGN, and they were trying to say you still don't get your money's worth. But this is for the people that just don't want to play the game and have any type of challenge. Like they just, I just want to have me a horde of orcs to have my back and go do the killing for me, and then I'll just walk through and maybe summon a couple of them, slice a couple of weaklings, and then I'm done. That's kind of like how they gave it. And no, it from after what you played with Shadows of Mordor, you didn't have that, and it's kind of depressing in that sense because these game companies keeps going for this money. But again, you can still grind through the game without having to do all that. You know what I'm saying? And that to me, I don't know, man.
Mega, I gotta say this. Now we're getting into the discussion of loot crates, microtransactions. Are they ruining gaming? Right? Pay to win, stuff like that. I don't like. All right. When it comes to multiplayer, pay to win. When what you're spending gives you an advantage over the next person who's playing online, that's when it gets really shady to me. Yeah. Now, when it comes to Shadow of War, though, unless there is an online multiplayer element to it, who are we to say what people spend their money on for a single-player game? That's what I don't get that. Can somebody explain that to me, man?
Go ahead.
Nope. I can't. I mean, that's my biggest takeaway from microtransactions. I don't want it to affect my online experience, and if it doesn't, it's not a big deal to me. I mean, I'm more the type of person that I'm going to play through the game on the level I'm comfortable playing at, and if I can't beat that game, then I'll just hang on to it and play it again later when I feel like picking it up again. But I don't think I've ever paid for microtransactions throughout this generation or last generation ever. I'd rather just buy DLC and play the game the way it was meant to be played. And if I can't finish it, then I suck. So
I got you, man. Yo, Salty, when it comes to like this Shadow of War, and then we're gonna expand this to, exactly what's going on with the rest of the gaming industry and the whole loot crate conspiracy type stuff. But with Shadow of War, with single player experiences, if they have microtransactions, and people are spending their money to play a single player game the way they want to, is that really such a big deal to you? I gotta know, man. What's going on?
Well, first of all, I play a lot of multiplayer games with my friends, so that's usually what I play. But I do dabble into the single player. I personally wouldn't, buy those crates, but I'm not going to dog people that have the money or don't have the time that it takes to grind through a game like that. And if they feel like it brings value to them and it's on a single player game, who are we to say that, a game, like the developers per se, like if it's something that you can earn in game, like which it is, that's the way it is in Shadow of War. Mm-hmm. You can earn those items through playing, so they're not locked out through loot crates only. Not game breaking, in my opinion. So, we're adults here. We all have things that we need to do, and a lot of us just don't have the time to get through our backlog. So if you're trying to get through a game and there's the option of trying to buy some loot crates and help you along that ride, and it's single player only, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I know like the beta or the demo came out for Star Wars Battlefront 2 and people saw loot boxes in there, and I've seen people go kind of crazy with that, and it's like automatically that's a pay to win, and people started complaining. Has anybody played that beta or that demo, the Star Wars Battlefront 2?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Let's start with Mega.
So this is Go ahead.
Yeah, let's hit Mega, and then we'll swing right around, Salty. But Mega, when you went in and played it, like, did you get a chance to see what was going on with these loot crates? Did it seem like a pay to win to you?
When you read some of the things, like there was a couple of things, like for the special characters, like Boba Fett and Luke Skywalker, and then I forget what the other chick's name is that's in these new versions. She's supposed to be that new Jedi or whatever. I forget her name. Like those type of characters get these special enhancements, and those come with that crate. So they comes with these loot crates, and then also there's cosmetic things that gives you enhancements, things like that. And so I can see how people could say that that's pay to win, because if you have one particular character and he has 100% damage, or that he's invulnerable of damage while he's doing a certain type of move, and it takes a while to kill him or whatever, then yeah, I can see that being a play to win factor. But also the game is trying to do what it was doing from the last one. Like when you seen Darth Vader coming, I wasn't trying to shoot his ass. I was running from the distance. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew and especially if somebody knew how to play with him, I was getting as far as fucking away from that dude as I possibly could, and then start blasting him. Because you know what I'm saying, you was about to get that work. So I see they want to make those type of OG legacy characters more powerful, and if they want to give some enhancements to it, I see it. But again, on the flip side, in order to pay money to have those special type of characters, that's wrong in my opinion.
And is that the only way to get those characters, though, is by actually spending the money, or can you earn
that is the rumor, but I don't know. You couldn't buy anything on the beta, but it's just a lot of people making these speculations, and now you're hearing DICE saying that we're hearing what you're talking about, and we'll change up some things.
EA is defending like the whole loot crate thing, and I believe they said something about you could definitely earn what you're seeing as well. I'm not too sure on that. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Putting that out there, but
So
yeah, Salty, what were you gonna say about this whole thing, man?
So I play Overwatch a lot, and they have the loot boxes, crazy, and it's.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, so when you're opening a loot box, it flips up and it actually looks like a slot machine if you pay attention to it. So there's lots of like bells and whistles and lights or whatever. It's besides the point. But what you're getting in that game, you're getting emotes, skins, and sprays that aren't affecting the game at all.
Yeah.
But with Battlefront 2, the way that they designed it is. Anything came out, so the beta impressions, you get these star cards, and they improve. They can improve your gun. They can improve, through gameplay. You can pick up heroes eventually. So based off of how many points you score by playing your class, so like there's the heavy, the support, and all this other stuff. If you play your character right, you get points for that, and then once you get a certain amount of points, you can buy things like a souped up battle droid, or you can get Darth Maul or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You have to earn those characters in game. It's not like you can purchase them through money or whatever. So you have to earn that in game, but those star cards are going to improve how good those characters are. So like with Boba Fett, you can get a star card that will, give you up to 100% damage reduction while in air. Like he jumps around a lot.
Yeah.
So issues. So that's a pay to win situation, because you can get those in these loot crates that they have.
Mm-hmm.
So that is blatant pay to win. Okay. And then the other issue with the game is it's structured like a free to play game that costs $60. Okay. Because you're getting the scraps. It's called scraps that you have to have.
Mm-hmm.
You get a certain amount of those, and you're not guaranteed to get the scraps every loot crate. So you get a certain amount of them. It's not that much, and you need to use those scraps to upgrade these star cards. Okay. So the progression is tied to loot crates and situation, and it's basically like a free-to-play game. So that's the problem. It's like all this like gathered together and smashed into one game. And the reason why EA did this is because it's Star Wars. They feel like they can wrap, a turd that microtransactions that people don't want to eat, and if they wrap it in a Star Wars wrapping, that the masses will consume it, and that's the facts. Okay, so that's the thing there.
And
okay,
it's
so
funny, when it comes to that, if you talk about the casual gamer but a Star Wars fan, EA is probably right on the money with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it came out in the news that they pushed the first Star Wars game out early without a story mode because Force Awakens was coming out. They said that. So it's being told to us by these companies that they're basically telling us to bend over. And then I had some friend in my party chat. He's like, what's the point to complain about this situation? It's not going to change. And it's like, well, if you had that thought process, it's not going to change. I don't want to put him on blast. I hope he doesn't hate me after this. But the fact of the matter is we do have a voice. And once people started getting pissed off, Angry Joe made a video. They had to respond. I guarantee you they wouldn't have made any changes if people didn't say anything,
Yeah, well,
so they wouldn't. But then again, you look at something, but then it's unfortunate when you see a game like Forza getting categorized in that same type of situation when it's nothing like it. I mean, that's the issues that I'm having with it. When somebody wants to bring a loot crate system, and you haven't, I don't think you still get into the. Hold on, go ahead and finish talking. I'm gonna go look right now. I got the game on right now. I'm looking right now, and you still don't have the ability to pay cash for anything. The auction house is still saying coming soon. All of this, like it's still not. Yeah, the marketplace is still saying coming soon. You still, after this game has been out, as long as it has, you still haven't been able to pay any real money towards this game. And for that to be in that same type of category as what Battlefront and for Shadows of War, how they're doing their systems, it's unfair. It's unfair to them.
All right, so when you said about the auction house and everything, you were talking Forza, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. Forza. Yeah,
that is absolutely incredible to me. That, like, I know they're gonna implement microtransactions down the line, but I've said it before when it comes to Forza. They didn't put it in there right off the bat. For those hardcore people that really want to grind and get the cars, do whatever they do when it comes to a race simulator. There's no microtransactions. You do it, the way you've naturally done it with Forza, and they're gonna put it in later for the people who didn't get it day one and stuff like that. And I actually don't have a problem with that. It shouldn't be in the same category, but Pred, when it comes to Star Wars Battlefront, after hearing what Salty said, that sounds like a clear kind of like pay to win type advantage. It sounds like they created an algorithm to the point where it hurts you to play and grind compared to just spend the money. That's what it sounded like to me. What do you think, Pred?
I think that sucks. I mean, like most people, I play for fun. I don't play for competition. I don't play for, I just play with my friends to have fun, and that's it. And if they take that out of the game, out of gaming, then that kind of sucks for us hardcore gamers. Just want to play a game just to play it, I don't agree with it personally. I mean, like if they're gonna sell you a game, they should allow you to play the game that was supposed to be played.
Yeah.
But I have them pay for all this other shit to get into the game. So I mean, I don't know if it's true or not. I hope it's not. And if it is true, I hope they change it. Sounds like EA's working on changing that. But like Salty said, like if no one voices their opinion on these sort of things, they're never going to change it because it's a cash grab for them. It's like extra money for them. If they can get these microtransactions out and just push out shit that everybody's going to buy, especially with a game like Star Wars where it has a huge fan base. So, I mean, I don't agree with the whole. I've never agreed with the microtransaction thing. I never agree with the pay to win thing. So. Like I said, I just buy the game, I play it as is, and if I really want to get something else out of it, I'll just grind.
Nice. Now, Pred, with all this being said, okay, we have a single-player game that has microtransactions. We have a big, title when it comes to Star Wars by a big publisher, with EA, that almost looks like they have this algorithm set up to where, like, they're almost trying to force people to spend extra money. And then you have Forza, who doesn't even have the microtransactions in yet. Now, this is the whirlwind that we've been dealing with. Do you feel like the gaming industry right now, when it comes to developers, publishers, games coming out in the future, we've had Halo, Gears, where you could spend money and stuff like that. Do you feel like this is the era to which we're on like a slippery slope when it comes to these video games. I feel like a lot of the influence deals with mobile games and seeing how mobile games became very popular in terms of, you know, people spending extra money and stuff for lives and stuff like that. But do you think we're at that point where we're on a slippery slope as a console gamer when it comes to these types of habits with microtransactions?
Yeah, I mean, and you may be absolutely correct with the whole mobile thing. I mean, as you see, most of the games starting to come out now have some kind of a loot crate, pay to win type system in it, and it's just the way it's gonna go going forward. Because you know these games aren't any cheaper to make. You know they're getting more expensive. They have to keep you entertained with this game as long as possible to get as much money out of you as you possibly can. So they'll sell you a $30 game, but it's not a whole game. You know, it's you're gonna get, you know, DLC you're gonna want to buy. You're gonna get, you know, loot crates and microtransactions, all those stuff that you're gonna want to keep your character competitive while you're playing these games. And that's what they're banking on. That's how they get that extra money. So after all said and done, let's use Overwatch for example. I don't really play that game that much, but I mean, people have spent hundreds, you know, after buying the game for $60 and then buying all the other shit. You could have bought this game 4 times.
Let me let you know something real quick, Predator. Our oldest son, he's 14 years old. He'll work for his grandmother and his aunt. He'll get up money, and anytime there's a special event on Overwatch, he'll open about 40 loot boxes. He spends all his money to open like 40 loot boxes every special event, yeah.
You know what this reminds me of? Remember, like when we were kids, like you get the football cards, the baseball cards. You go buy that big giant box of baseball cards, and only like 3 of them in there are worth the damn thing. That's what it reminds me of. That's what loot crates remind me of.
Xbox, like just what you said, is kind of alarming because me and Fonz talked about this. It is that these big companies are preying on gambling addictions that are sometimes. Don't know that you might have this situation, but it's basically these boxes are gambling, right? You don't know what you're going to get. It has flashy lights, and then kids are buying these things, and they feel like they need to buy them. And I don't know. This topic alone is crazy when it comes to the controversy there, because some people are just thinking that these companies need to be taken to court, and when it comes to, you know, some of the aspects of gambling that they're instituting with these boxes, because what's the difference between pulling a handle on a slot machine and then opening a box on Overwatch? It's all a chance on what you're getting. You're paying money for something to get for free, you know, like, so if I'm paying $1 and I have a chance to get a legendary item that normally would cost like what, $10, whatever they want to charge for that legendary item, I have a chance to get that for $1 if the box is $1. So it's gambling essentially. So yeah. I think that's a problem.
Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying, and it is definitely training like the younger generation that, you know, in the ways of gambling and whatnot. I just don't feel that as of right now, when it comes to like children gambling and stuff, in a courtroom, I don't feel like they have an argument right now, just for what it is they're spending their money on. It's just cosmetic type stuff. It is random, but I don't feel like they would have an argument in court right now. But if it keeps going down the road of what you explained when it comes to Star Wars and stuff like that, when it reaches further into that domain, then I feel like there could be something that comes of it in terms of legality and gambling with children and all that good stuff. But as far as right now, when you're looking at Overwatch and stuff like that, I feel they don't have a leg to stand on. I can see where you're coming from, and a lot of times it's just you can see it before it really takes place, and you want to kind of stop it right there.
Yeah.
But you just need. There's so much things you need in a courtroom to prove it, you know. And I'm
just saying, you know, like they don't get, for the most part, I think in China it's a law that they have to give the percentages of winning certain items in these loot crates. It's like a law. But in America, they don't have to tell you, like, what's the percent of, like, the chance of me getting a legendary item in this box or whatever. Those percentage, like, that would be a good thing for them to put out there, or, you know, other things like that. it's kind of slippery to me. It's the wild west of the internet age.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, it's not a controlled group. Required to be 21 to go to the casino because gambling is considered something that needs to be an adult to do it because you're spending money and blah blah blah. But just because it's called a loot crate, you're spending money on it. And I've heard situations of kids, taking their parents' credit cards and racking up $300 bills and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So that this kid, that's 10 now is not going to come down, when he's 20 and be like, man, I developed this gambling addiction and I'm going to sue EA. It's ruined my life. It's just, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, I mean, just for me, I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second. Okay. Because, all right, you got to look at it from the developer side as well. Games are nowhere near as cheap as they used to be. And I understand that when you pay for $60, or you pay for definitely like for Battlefield or Call of Duty or any of these other games, and you buy the map packs for and pay 120 plus, then you shouldn't have to add any more money to it. Those things are just absolute greed in my opinion. But when you look at on the flip side, when let's just say Overwatch and mm-hmm. you pay a $60 price tag, and they have the loot crates and these people are buying them in abundance. But that's what keeps that game more stable. That's what keeps that game constantly working. That's what keeps these people fed, And I understand that these people can have an addiction, and these people have this issue. But there's got to be some proper home training. There has to be something where you can tell where these kids have to be told and shown, look, this is not how the real life works. Mm-hmm. You can't just have money and did it. You have to grind out. And as long as these things available, oh shit, I'm bringing in the Silent Hill. What is that? A pyramid head?
Yeah, pyramid head coming, man.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'm gonna buy a loot crate, and it's gonna make them disappear, though. It's all good.
Yeah. That's it. But no, it is a slippery slope. But the only people that we have to blame for this is us, because when Call of Duty started doing this with the map packs, look how long Call of Duty's been doing this. And look how they're still getting over like a fat rat. Like they are so overconfident on how they do it. They're so cocky and aggressive of how they do it. Nobody don't really talk about it anymore. Mm-hmm. So we're the ones to blame, not so much of the gaming companies, because I mean, hell, they want to make their money. They want to have the sweet life. They want to have things better, and they also want to keep their lights on and keep things going for their game to survive. We have to look at it from two different directions. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Some of us need to just take responsibility.
With that being said, for people who are, getting upset when it comes to the Star Wars, Shadow of War, I have no fucking idea why people are upset with that. It's a single player game. Like, if people want to spend that money, all right, then if it's kids, they have to get permission, right? But if it's mm-hmm. adults getting their own $60 title, a single player experience, let them spend their money the way they want to. I don't have a problem when it comes to single player microtransactions. Now, if they are if they are using the setup to where they're making it incredibly hard to complete the game without spending the money, mm-hmm. then there might be something there. But if you really like the game and it's a single player game, like I'll keep playing it until I beat it. But when it comes to Star Wars and stuff like that, people are getting upset about that. Do you remember when it came to Halo 5 and the war zone with the rec packs and how people said, that was pay to win, even though they sectioned off, if you want to go competitive, balanced multiplayer in arena, you don't use any of the weapons that you would, acquire in the rec packs, but you would use them in Warzone. Like, there was people who talked a whole bunch of crap. Wouldn't you rather have that type of system than what's going on now and where it might be going in the future? I think 343, I think more of these developers and publishers, if they're going to do microtransactions and stuff like that, they really need to look at Halo 5 and how it was implemented there. What do you think, Mega?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, like that and CG Project Red. I think it's if you reward the gamer with something free, and then they ask you for money for something else, like The Witcher did. It's, you don't feel bad about it. And just like how Halo 5 has done it, they did it the right way. Now, a lot of people didn't like how Gears of War 4, how they did their microtransactions. But with how Halo and Battlefield does it right too, because you pay this one price, you get all of this, and if anything else that you want to pay that's extra, that's just on you. It's more for cosmetics. If you want to get the shortcuts for your weapons, things like that. I think that's cool. I think it should be done that way. I think and if people want to buy extra to make their gun have extra looking guns or skins or whatever, that's fine. But as long as it keeps a balance, we have to find the balance to where people that when they play these certain games, if they want to keep playing them and they feel that they need to buy something, then give them the opportunity to do it. And also, if you're going to be playing online, then you got to have some kind of balance to where the people that don't and they just paid for the $60 version or for a discounted version, they still should feel like they are competitive as well.
One thing, I know the chat hit on this a little bit earlier into this conversation. One thing we're not talking about is the fact that games are still $60. They have been $60 since the beginning of last generation as well. So with that being said, and beginning of last generation, it was physical discs and all that good stuff. You had GameStop kind of making their money on the used side of things and taking away the money from the developers. Yeah, and even the publishers when it came to that. But the games haven't increased in price at all. You would figure that with that amount of time that has passed, there would be some type of hike in price because it's costing more and more to make the games as well. So which would you rather have? Would you rather have a more expensive first payment down there? Or would you rather have them find a way to balance out these microtransactions? I don't know. What do you guys think?
I understand the viewpoint, and it's been mentioned a lot of times. I don't know where it started off. Obviously, there's inflation and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But there's also games that don't have microtransactions that make tons of money. So the fact that, I think prices should be a little bit higher. Obviously, if you're looking that it's been the same price. Mm-hmm. But a news article that said that GTA Online made $500 million in microtransactions. So the fact of the matter is the money that these, the developers and the publishers are making from microtransactions are going above and beyond 100-fold, basically. It's just they're raking in money. It's not to the fact that we're trying to close. We're not just closing the gap there. Mm-hmm. They're making almost more money than they would on the actual base game through microtransactions.
That is true. Especially GT. True,
but man, look. When you got a game as big as, let's just say, I don't know, you got a budget of $100 million game or more. And okay, it's just like with Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15 sold 10 million copies in about 5 months, 3 to 5 months. And they still didn't meet expectation because of how much that game cost them overall. Now, I think that they recouped their money, but the thing that people I think have to realize is that, okay, well, we don't want to pay $60 games. We want games to be cheaper. Well, if that's the case, then you're going to see more microtransactions. If you want the game to be more expensive, then microtransactions could probably go down. But if you have these, and in the games that's smaller, doesn't cost that much, they should be the ones being more ridiculed because now it's just nothing but a hustle. But for the big budget games that's out there that they're paying hundreds of millions of dollars for these games, and they add microtransactions and it's still $60 game. I mean, damn. I mean, you want that sequel, right? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a catch-22. I'm not trying. It may sound like I'm totally defending them. I'm not, but I'm also understanding that if you want to make these games get bigger, better, and they have these huge budgets down the line, you're gonna have to pay in. It's just we got to find a happy medium. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, Snaps just made me myself, by the way. She snuck up behind me while I was listening to Mega. And, yeah, oh, my goodness. Yeah, I can see this is definitely a serious topic, especially like moving forward. And I don't know, like what can we do about it though? I know we can talk about it when stuff is completely pay to win and is unfair. You know, we could talk about it. We could get the word out there. But if the game catches the casual, which you know these mobile games, these Candy Crush, Bubble Witch Saga, all these little Facebook games and stuff like that catches the casual, and they end up spending so much money on it. Like, what can we do to kind of try to help regulate it if it does catch the casual market? Is there anything we can do?
No, we're already addicted to it now.
We're addicted girlfriends and wives and the casuals keep paying money for Candy Crush and all those other little bullshit games on mobile. I mean, because that's where they're getting this from. They see this. This is where this came from. Since mobile gaming has gotten so popular, you know, you see the Pokemon Go and shit like that. They're like, oh, well, we could try to add this and implement this as well. I mean, not everything is got to be, you know, these big corporate companies, they do this and they're trying to stomp out the little man. There are actually games that cost a lot of fucking money to make. I mean, now I'm not talking about, you know, Sting Jive bubblegum around the street corner game. I'm not saying that game needs to have microtransactions, but something like The Witcher 3 that takes years in time to develop, and Final Fantasy 15. All these other games that looks better than anything that you've ever seen, plays fantastic. That takes a lot of manpower, that takes a lot of time, and that takes a lot of fucking capital. And they need to recoup that money back if you want to see any type of you know, sequel.
Yo, Mega, I understand exactly what you're saying, and it just seems like, you know, when it comes down to it, you look at Rockstar, right? Which GTA 5, you know, they've given a bunch of free expansions. They got a new one coming now. That's transforming races. Like, you'll start off as a car, you'll hit like this icon, and all of a sudden you're continuing the race as a plane, so on and so forth. So it has a bunch of content. But let's just be honest with GTA 5. Like, they want you to buy shark cards to the point where they have made like the prices of things so astronomical that if you haven't played the game since it released on your platform and played it kind of like faithfully, dude, you're getting left behind in terms of money. I've seen it myself. So like, even with the big budgeted games, they are kind of like, I see what Salty's saying here, and I see what Jay Fonz is kind of saying in the chat as well as a couple others. It seems like they're slowly setting it up to kind of really mimic that mobile market, and I'm just wondering, what is there anything that we can do as true gamers, you know, because the casuals are that's the bigger number out there. Is there anything that we can do to kind of get them to kind of look at it and be like, yo, it's not supposed to be that way here, you know?
I think that with the Battlefront 2 situation, I think that the people that were in social media or had YouTube accounts or whatever, they started voicing their opinions because obviously it was just blatantly taken to extremes, and I think that EA did that on purpose to try to see how far they could push the envelope before people would push back, and then they're like, oh, that wasn't complete, and then they make the changes, you know. So I think this is going to be a thing where if people don't stand up for what they think is wrong or whatever, companies are just going to keep pushing the envelope because, you know, they can. It's a business after all, you know. Business people like to make money. That's what they're supposed to do, you know. And
they put the right wrapper on that when you're talking about gauging it, because you Star Wars, man, like you could take a Sharpie and write Star Wars on a half broken styrofoam cup. Somebody's gonna buy it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That is kind of dangerous, man. I think it's definitely something we all gotta keep our eye on. I don't know. Is there any kind of final thoughts when it comes to this whole loot crate thing and where the future of gaming is going? Anybody have any kind of last things before we move to another subject?
Go ahead.
I honestly just want to say that don't loot put all of microtransactions into one basket. It's not all the same. Different companies approach it in different ways. You had Shadow of War approach it one way. You had, and had a different way. You had Battlefront 2. You have free-to-play games. Don't put it all as evil or don't put it all as good. Just use your common sense is all it is,
Well, definitely.
That's what we need to do.
Definitely.
Yeah, that was what I was going to kind of say, was basically look at it from that standpoint of have some responsibility. If you don't have the money to spend for all of that, don't spend it. Just play the game, enjoy it for what you have. If it's one of those games to where you hear that you need it's a paywall behind it, then fuck it, don't buy it, because that's not how a game is supposed to be. If you paid $60 for a game, then you're supposed to be able to complete that game. Also, it's just that from the sense of what these companies are trying to do, I understand that they make billions of dollars, but you just take the case of what happened with like Mass Effect Andromeda, and that game flopped. It definitely didn't meet budget. It was dead already before anybody started to buy it because of how the media came after it and everything. So you got to look at it from a company sense. It's like, hey, we might have to try to recoup some of this money that we lost off of Andromeda, and we might have to put in a little extra on these loot crates. It's not fair. It's not right. I'm not saying it is, but you have to look at it from that's their standpoint of trying to recoup for the lack of people they gave trust in the people thinking that they was going to buy this game, even though a lot of people thought that it was poorly made. So I don't know.
Yep.
I got you, man. Now, see,
So, yeah.
let's switch over to like something that's actually good when it comes to a microtransaction and stuff. 343 has implemented a new rec pack, and I actually wrote the name down here. It's called the Relief and Recovery Rec Pack for Halo 5. Now, this is a company that, let's be honest, 343 has made a ton of money when it comes to these rec packs. And with everything that happened, the hurricanes hitting Puerto Rico, not only that, just the disasters kind of like worldwide. 343 decided to come together and do this rec pack that will consist of 5 permanent recs of ultra rare or better. So ultra rare up to the rarest permanent recs that you can get for $9.99, and all the proceeds are going to I wrote it down just so I got it right, are going to Global Giving, which is a charity that goes out and it helps when it comes to natural disasters and natural disaster relief. And now, Puerto Rico has been in the news lately, and what's going on with kind of like the government and trying to help, trying to take care of, the citizens, which are actually, American. What do you guys think about what 343 is doing? And do you feel like maybe, more publishers, developers, they can utilize some of this? I know, like Rockstar with GTA, man, give them like imagine just like maybe 5% of what they make off of shark cards, where that could go and what kind of good could that do. So, Pred, what do you think about what 343 is doing, and do you think like it might catch on to other developers, other publishers when it comes to microtransactions and start, really utilizing them for something good as well?
I mean, I've never heard anything like this before. You hear people saying they're going to donate money and stuff like that, but this actually puts it in our hands to actually purchase a product and to be used in game. That's actually going to be charitable for disaster relief, and I think it's good on Microsoft to implement something like this. I hope it carries on to other. Obviously, I don't want to see a bunch of disasters happen around here, but I mean, but if there's something like someone feels really strongly about, a company feels really strongly about that they can, like cancer awareness or something like that they could do something like that during those months or something like that. They can have a loot crate or something where you can purchase in game to use, maybe a cosmetic item or something like that, where the proceeds actually go towards, a charitable cause.
Mm-hmm.
I never heard it before, but we'll see what happens in the future. But good on Microsoft for doing this. So,
yeah, I think it's actually awesome, and for people who are fans of the game, like I know I've been playing. I've played Halo 5 since launch day. All right, I have absolutely everything when it comes to the permanent recs, up to the rarest and stuff like that. But there are a lot of people out there who didn't play the game as religiously as me, and they're actually really giving you, something for this pack, and all proceeds are going to this disaster relief fund. So it's like they're not even taking a percentage of it. It's all going where I feel it needs to go. So,
now, real quick, is 343 matching that as well, or are they just going to do it?
I didn't see anything about them matching. They just said all proceeds will go that way. It's just, from what I've seen, there's been people that have been donating to certain, relief funds and stuff like that they weren't sure exactly what was going on with them, like where the relief was. And I guess 343 decided to do this and set up with a fund that is actually doing something out there. Like you can track them on the website and see exactly what's going on, see that the money is actually being used where it's supposed to be used and such. So that's really great as well. And it's not just dealing with Puerto Rico as well. So your money will help out in times of a worldwide when it comes to different disasters or whatnot. Of course, Puerto Rico is the main one that people are talking about right now, and that's where most of their funding is going. So, but I didn't hear anything about matching. That is a very good question, man.
Oh. So yeah, I think that you're asking me what I felt about it. I think the important thing is they're doing 100% because that's awesome. First of all, they didn't have to do that. They could have been like, okay, we're going to donate 60% of the proceeds and then pocketed 40%, Mm-hmm. But since they're going 100%, that just, is awesome. It doesn't take that much for, the devs to kind of, put this into the system. They're not going to be losing a lot of money on it, but it impacts these people in a great manner and fashion because the gamers are getting something for it. So they're getting value for their money per se, and they're donating money at the same time. The only other time I've heard of a situation like this is in Paladins. It's a free-to-play game. They did a promotion like this. It was some kind of a system like this, but I haven't heard it enough, and I think that's a problem. I think that these companies could do this and do a lot more good for all these people that need it. It doesn't hurt their funds that much, and they could put this as a tax write-off. It's a donation. Yeah. So I think personally, it's really good. Yeah, and we need to see more of it.
They could definitely put it as a tax write-off and whatnot. For the corporations at the end of the day, I mean, their main thing is to make money. But it's good to see 343 as the developer, division of the bigger corporation, which is Microsoft, kind of taking that extra step and trying to help out in a place that a lot of people know there is a lot of help needed over there. Mega, what do you think about what 343 is doing, man? And do you think possibly more developers, publishers might kind of do the right thing here and do some of these kind of microtransactions that actually help out people around the world? What do you think, man?
No, I don't see it like that. I would never see Activision doing that. I just wouldn't.
Was that the first publisher you thought of? Activision.
That's the first Activision. Yeah, I just kind of when people love Destiny and and then they hate on EA, but Activision is the worst when the worst. You know what I'm saying? But it's about all the games that you love. If you love Destiny, then you're going to defend it more than you are other games. But anyway, I digress. This is just positive. It's fantastic. You guys may have forgotten about the developer of Hellblade. They donated. They did a charity fund to where their proceeds went towards mental illness.
Ninja Theory. And
so, yeah, and that was awesome. Because that's basically what that game is about. Pretty much is that chick is going through it mentally, But these steps is positive. It kind of makes some of these big corporations look humane. I know a lot of us, and I'm one included. I'm a liberal, so I'm a liberal in Oklahoma, and I don't like big corporations, but you got to defend when they do popular things. Mm-hmm. So it's so maybe people look at me like I was trying to defend them to the point of like, yo, they need more money. They need to gash the gamers. That's not what that wasn't my direction. I was just playing devil's advocate. But this is great. This is positive. And the people in Puerto Rico definitely need this. People across the world needs all types of help and support. And sometimes when we sit in our cush living conditions and we have lights and water and food, we don't think about the people out there that's really struggling and going through it. And that's really fortunate that they thought about these people out there.
Yeah, for sure. I will say Luke Taylor in the chat, I think he was talking to you, Mega, said that Activision already has a donation microtransactions in Call of Duty for veterans.
Nice.
Is that true? Like Pred, Salty, can anybody confirm that on the panel? Or
I haven't heard of it.
No, I've not really paid attention to it either. But
that'd be great. That would be great. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The veterans, they need it.
They're still scummy though, right?
Yeah, but they're still dicks. I mean, come on now. Activision is horrible.
Yo, Luke Taylor, if you are following me on Twitter, if you could just send me a link on Twitter, like tag me in a link or something like that, I would love to read up on that charity as well. I feel like, when it comes to the gaming media, it's all about console war, resolution, all sorts of stuff. Like, these type of things need to be kind of like headlined a little bit more to show that there's a different side. I know society for a long time has looked at gamers a certain way. Like, we are aggressive, we are short-tempered, this, that, or whatever. And it's good to get, like, this information out there to show that there is another side to gamers out there, charitable, caring, concerning when it comes to like the world and how people are living and being treated and stuff like that. So we got to put this information out there more to show that there is another side to gamers and the gaming industry as well.
Yeah. That's the truth. I've donated to the Red Cross. I know a lot of people say, "Oh my God, that money's not going to them." But I donated. I mean, I did my heart's in the right place. So I just think that if more companies should be able to do this, I mean, they should. I mean, I'm not thinking about the people that's made some game that we don't know about, but to donate. But you just think about the people that's what they're going through with those fires in California, these hurricanes, just. I mean,
the world's going nuts. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, man.
The world's going crazy.
It's going crazy. Yeah, man. So it's wild all over the place.
All right. Well, speaking of crazy, man, Phil, the Brazil game show? Phil got interviewed a bunch of times, and there was a couple things that Phil has said at this game show that I don't know. It sparked my interest. I know Crap Gamer has made quite a few videos about it. Some very interesting things coming out of Phil's mouth, and one of them being about crossplay. Yes, guys, we are going to try to talk about crossplay again, because from the way Phil is putting it out there, Xbox talks to Sony just about daily, and they try to get some type of agreement when it comes to crossplay, especially, of course, with Minecraft, because when it comes to Minecraft and the whole kind of like play together update, Sony said no to it. So Sony is pretty much the only platform that can't play together with PC, with mobile, and with Xbox when it comes to the Minecraft IP. Phil said he's tried talking to him daily, and they are just not budging with this. Do you let's hit Predator. Do you think there's anything is going to change Sony's mind when it comes to crossplay? And do you think Xbox and Phil Spencer are wasting their time, or do you think they're going to wear them down, man?
I think they're wasting their time, man. I mean, I know why they want Minecraft over there, because it's the leading console seller. That's 60 million right there. Consoles, and they can keep that game on it. And and think of the backlash that's going to happen if they decide to pull that game off of PlayStation. How it's going to be spun the wrong way. It's not going to be spun as if Sony said no, so we couldn't allow this game to stay on here. It's going to be spun as Microsoft won't allow this game to stay on here. So I think it's just I don't think it's going to happen personally. Maybe they'll let Minecraft on PS play with PC, but never with Xbox. And it's going to take something like a PUBG or a really like a up and coming game that's really popular that wants it, like a Call of Duty or something like that, to say, hey, we need to do this, and if you're not online with this, then we're just not going to let you have this game on the system. It's going to take something like that for Sony to kind of make their mind up with as far as crossplay goes. But it's just right now there's everything Microsoft is saying is falling on deaf ears with Sony right now.
I mean, I kind of feel bad. Like, even Nintendo is playing ball when it comes to Minecraft, right? And crossplay. They even did it with I believe soccer cars. Soccer cars. Like I love that game. I love that game.
What's that? There's another game that got announced today too. I think it's like they're working on it still, but I think they're gonna do Xbox and Nintendo and PC crossplay as well. It just dropped today, the news I saw anyway. So that's a third game right there that is doing it, and still Sony's saying no to it. So
I got you. So you don't think Sony is gonna fold at all? You think? I don't think, like, Mojang, Microsoft, I don't think they'll ever pull the game from PlayStation, because let's be honest, it still makes money over there. But it's just like that Play Together update, it's not going over there. How do you think, like, Minecraft fans feel who have a PlayStation? Like, I haven't heard anything from those guys kind of like standing up and saying, we want crossplay for this as well, because you're also getting kind of like the add-ons from the PC. So you get like this kind of like rivalry type arena setting. Mm-hmm. Somebody built like a Call of Duty map that you can play on all the different platforms and stuff like that. And
well, here's my take on this. Two things. I'm gonna stop you right there. Okay. Right. A, you can always get an Xbox. B, they can always complain to Sony and figure out why they want out on their system. So that's their, like, how we have issues with things that go along with Microsoft, and we voice our opinion to Phil, and they make the changes that are necessary, whether it was, the E3 reveal or whatever else has happened since then. We've expressed our concern. We, as an Xbox community, we're very vocal with the Xbox leadership. They need to do the same thing with their leadership. If they want this game to be played on all consoles, and Sony saying no, they're the fans. They need to voice their opinion and have their voices heard by the execs on the Sony side to get that to happen. Don't come over here to the Microsoft side pissed at us. We're trying to do it. Take that shit over to the Sony side and figure out why it's not working.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. Yo, Salty, what do you think about Phil's kind of like his efforts to talk to Sony? Do you believe, like, him and the Xbox division have been trying to like talk to them almost daily? And do you see any kind of turnaround coming for the future? Do you think Sony at some point in time will kind of give into this and let their gamers be a part of this kind of like bigger gaming community when it comes to Minecraft and other games beyond that, man?
I just, from a business standpoint, when he's coming out and basically saying he doesn't see it, that's kind of the writing on the wall. I'm sure they've done all that they could. Obviously, they own the rights to Minecraft, and this update was coming out, so they're probably trying as hard as they can to get it out, and Sony's not budging, and why would they at this point? They're the leaders by far in console sales. And it's their responsibility to maintain that market share. The execs at Sony, they look at it, and it's, people would look at it in tunnel vision and say, what's the big deal? Crossplay isn't that big, but it opens up Sony to a lot of different, things. It's all pretty much all negative for them if you look at it that way, because like, let's say they do crossplay, and like, what servers are they going to run it on? Are they going to run it on, Microsoft servers, or, like with different games? Then you have that. And then some people could be like, well, the game is running better when it's running on Microsoft servers, so Microsoft is better, Sony sucks. So there's a lot of negative things that can
people
spawn from this.
Anyway, like either way.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so from a business standpoint, you're the leaders, you're Sony. I've talked to some people about this topic specifically that are PlayStation users, and they defend Sony left and right, and I don't understand. Like,
they're like, they don't have to do crossplay.
It's almost
like they're the leaders right now. Why would they? It's always the ones who are in second and below. Those are the ones who want like features like crossplay. And Yo, Salty and the rest of the panel, check this out. This is what I think Microsoft should do moving forward, because they already have Nintendo's ear. Of course, Microsoft, and Xbox in the PC space. Just keep moving it along. Make more and more games crossplay. Before you know it, that feature is going to become so well known, and you're going to have Sony's going to be looking like the odd duck, or kind of like the grumpy old man, on the block that doesn't want to have, anything to do with something new. But if that's something new, it creates a wave, and it, gets more momentum, more games do it and stuff like that. Eventually, Sony's going to have to decide whether they're going to go along with the community and what is that hot thing building up, or if they're going to really seclude themselves and pull themselves apart from that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't get it twisted. This relationship between Microsoft and Nintendo is huge. The fact that they're playing ball and they're going crossplay between the two systems, it's kind of like they're building bridges and they're building connections between the two companies. So most definitely you're going to see fruits from that, in the future years. We don't know what that's going to be, but it's better to have a relationship with your rival than to be enemies and not have any connections.
They
right?
are definitely playing nice. They've been playing nice for the last couple of years, kind of like behind closed doors and stuff like that. I know, Mega, me and you, we've heard quite a few things when it comes to Microsoft and Nintendo kind of like working together, instead of just being straight up rivals and stuff. And it sounds like, we might be getting some good stuff like moving into the future with that kind of like partnership that Salty was talking about,
Yeah, no doubt. And Salty was absolutely correct on everything that he said. It was just, we're now understanding that PlayStation wants to stay in the old age. Mm-hmm. They don't want to evolve as quickly as what Microsoft wants to do. Microsoft has been pushing this envelope to want to bring this new type of innovation for a while now. And now, since they're getting their footing now and they're ready to get started, the one thing that impressed me about that interview was how confident Phil sounded. I didn't hear it, but what you read, if those words that he was saying, there was a lot of confidence, and he stood strong, even though he knew that he was getting criticized for certain things that he was doing. He still was thinking for the future, and he's not going to relent. He's not going no other direction. And I think for Xbox fans, they should feel positive about that, because there's been so many people that's been making speculations. Or is Xbox really, do they really want to be, or are they really in for the long haul? Are they committed? They got a plan and they're committed to it. And for the way that he was talking about the crossplay situation, he like, look, we keep reaching out to Sony. Sony doesn't want to do it. Nintendo is letting us know, and that's it. Like, we're moving on, and this is going to be a big thing in the future going on with PUBG as well, because I think PUBG definitely wants to do crossplay. So we'll see.
Well, yeah. Well, with PUBG, I don't know if you're going to get a PUBG kind of like Nintendo Switch version, but definitely, PC and Xbox platform. I know the developers, Bluehole, they definitely said they want that crossplay. Like, that's a big thing to them, and I know Xbox will be like, happy to oblige, guys, no problem. We'll even help set it up for you. No, you got Mikey Barr's like A-team over there helping to build it on the console itself. So, I mean, I just say to Microsoft and Phil Spencer, to Xbox, you know what? Keep moving forward, doing you. Work with Nintendo on any multiplats that do come down the line that express interest in crossplay, and before you know it, you have created something new that may become a standard. And if it's a standard, then all of a sudden, the company that doesn't do it, like I said, they look like that grumpy old man that just doesn't like change, and they're gonna stay over there, in their yard and yell at the kids to get off the lawn. You know what I'm saying, man?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. It's amazing how Xbox gets no credit for the innovation that they've been doing. I mean, PlayStation is the sole leader when it comes to console sales, but when it comes to innovation and features, PlayStation doesn't hold a candle to what Xbox is doing, and it's going to get worse
Yeah,
and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm going to throw a little curveball to you guys because, I put in the description, about the crossplay. But let's dive a little bit deeper into the interview. Phil Spencer, he got interviewed and asked about the Xbox One X. And basically, after the release, you go a year from the release, they asked him, like, what is like the success measurement for the Xbox One X? Like, what's Xbox and Microsoft going to look for? Is it going to be straight up sales numbers? Like, how are you going to measure the success of the One X? And Phil's answer was actually, it's right on par with everything that they have been doing this generation. Because he basically said it's not necessarily, measured by hardware sales. It's measured by people who are using, like, our services, our platform. He's like, even down to somebody who's on an Android playing Minecraft, they're still using Xbox. They can still log into Xbox Live. They're playing, an Xbox game, a Microsoft game, and whatnot. And he says that's how they're measuring their success moving forward. Predator, what do you think about this? Did you see that? Did you see that article, that interview? And do you feel that's the right way to go? Like, because he said that at the end of the day, console is only a part of the gaming industry, and he wants to really kind of flesh out and improve every aspect of the gaming community, the gaming industry.
I didn't get a chance to read the article. I was probably drugged up, but he said stuff like this before in the past, and this is, Microsoft is more. I don't want to say they're interested in the money aspect of it, but they are. I mean, this is a business. They'd rather nickel and dime you for each little bit that they can and get profits that way than to sell you a console and you don't buy any games for it. That makes no sense. I mean, they don't make money off the hardware; they're making off the software. So, he's from a business perspective, he's completely correct. I mean, that's what they want. They want you using their services because as long as you're playing whatever game it is, no matter what system it's on, you're using a Windows 10 device, you're using a phone, you're playing their game on someone else's system, you're still playing their game. They're still making money off of that some way, some shape, fashion, or form. So, I mean, he's absolutely right, and that's just the way that their business plan has been going. Their business model's been going for the last couple of years now, ever since they introduced Play Anywhere and Windows 10 games. So, it's their ecosystem basically. So that's what they're selling to us now. They're not just selling us. That's why I don't really think they're concerned with this whole console war bullshit anymore. They just want to make money and put their services in everybody's hands at this point.
Pred, that's a great point. I remember when Aaron Greenberg, Phil Spencer came out and they said they're not really discussing hardware numbers anymore. Sold month for month, all that good stuff. People were saying how that was just a tactic to hide the low numbers of sales. But when you look at what they're doing, first of all, they're kind of mixing in PC gaming with console gaming. You have on the console side of things, it's now the Xbox One family of devices. I mean, I can almost guarantee Phil Spencer goes to like the shareholders when it goes to Microsoft and stuff, and they talk about active users. All right, that is the big thing. How many people are actively using like Xbox Live, the services that Microsoft brings to the table, and that's where they really pitch to those guys, the shareholders, and I feel like that's where they're aiming the future of Microsoft as a whole. So to me, they're sticking by their guns. But Mega, what do you think, man? Is this right on point with what Phil has been saying? Do you think it's a tactic? What's going on, man?
I didn't get to hear. I'm sorry, man. I'm dog sitting, and so I had to let the dog out because it was whining like crazy. What was the top? Well,
basically, what Phil is saying that they're measuring their success by people who are actively using the services and stuff. Do you feel? Is this a tactic, or is this the way that Microsoft Xbox is going for the future, man?
Now, we've been saying this for a long time. A lot of people don't want to hear that, but the fact is, these companies make more money off of the services than they do of actually the console sales. So when you hear about so many PlayStations out there, yeah, they're generating money, but they're making more money off of PSN and off of game sales and things of that nature, more so than off of the console itself. So of course they care more about what's going on with Xbox Live and Play Anywhere and all these other different strategies that they're doing, because to them the bottom line is not so much is selling the most consoles, but having the most people operate on the consoles that they have. And Xbox has been doing a really good job of that, because if you I don't know what the percentage would be, but I'm pretty sure it's in the 90s of people that has Xbox Live. So that's huge. It's got to be in the 80s and 90s. So it's more, it's just a strategy. Like I read that whole article. I don't know which one. I read it off of GameSpot, and I read everything that he said, and that was another positive thing. Was like, look, the console talk, it's just talk. It's just fanboys just opening their mouth, saying stuff, just to feel that they're winning. But when it comes down to making real profit, and that's why Microsoft is killing them this year when it comes to profit every quarter, killing the competition. It's just this is the reason, because of their services. So.
Yeah, I mean, they've talked about this. Aaron Greenberg, Phil Spencer. If you dig deeper, like I know a lot of our YouTuber friends, people that we're cool with, that have channels and stuff like that, we kind of dig deeper into Microsoft, and this is the way that they have been going for a while. I did say this on Crossfire last night. When it comes to Phil Spencer, I love the fact that he is a gamer, but we all know, like Phil Spencer, Mike Ibarra, when it comes to gaming, the majority of their gaming is on PC, right? So I know services and everything make a lot of money, but I really hope and pray that they recognize that the gaming community, just gaming in general, is different when it comes to PC and when it comes to console. There are some things that, you can interweave in between the two and everything is great, but just remember that, the console gaming space has an identity, a certain identity, and the PC space has a certain identity, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And I'm just hoping that they know this and they don't try to just slam everything together. You know what I'm saying? Oh.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. But again, to me, that's an old mentality of like, well, consoles first or PC first. And when this is where we're headed. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're going more digital now. We're going, all of the things that people have been bitching and complaining about in 2013 from DRM. Now every damn game, even single player games, have DRM implemented in them. I mean, it's happening, and this movement is coming, and a lot of people is not going to like it. But the fact of it is that you're going to start seeing more PlayStation games go to the PC. You're going to have a lot more PC games come to the Xbox. Xbox is going to do a lot more crossplay. They're still going to be implementing that Windows Store, regardless if you don't like it or not. This is the future. And the only thing that I care about when it comes to the Xbox side of it, the console part, is bringing in new IPs, keeping new fresh games keep rolling in, and they have such a huge library of older games that they could bring out to revitalize, like they did with Killer Instinct. That's the only thing that I care about. I'm not caring about I don't give a fuck what PC people are doing. That's not my priority. And PC gamers shouldn't even care what console gamers are doing if we're considered peasants. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't give a fuck what PlayStation people are playing, because I got a PlayStation. I can play it anytime I want to. I think that's the old way of gaming, and they're looking at it from a business where, like, look, we can open this up and we can corner this market. That's what Microsoft is thinking about overall.
So are you trying to say I have an old mentality, man? Because I'm trying to say...
Man, look, with Z, you know what I'm saying? I love my brothers, man. But when Z and crap and everybody comes with this, consoles first, I don't want to have a PC game, and that shit is irrelevant. Gaming is changing, Jack. This is not when they put games on cell phones. And they got games. You can play games any damn where now. They seen the potential in that, and they're going after it, because if they waste time by thinking console first, and when there's people that will, how you see the gaming media, how they treat Xbox and things of that nature, and while PlayStation could be stomping the shit out of the Xbox console for maybe years to come for even the next generation. It won't matter if it's the console first. We have two great titles right now, and what are they doing? They're shitting on them. They're saying the Forza 7 is garbage. It's not better than GT. It's not better than Project Cars 2. Cuphead. Well, think about the Steam sales. Let's not just think about that this is still a Microsoft Xbox property. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So fuck that. Go global. Go big. Get it all. Corner the market.
Take it all.
Take it all. Fuck it.
All right. I mean, when it's all said and done, it's
not popular, but that's just how I feel about it.
I mean, I'm gonna keep my eyes open on certain things. There's certain things like the mouse and keyboard support and stuff like that that's coming to Xbox that I've already voiced it time and time again. I'm not gonna go in and say the same thing over and over. There's certain things I do have concerns about. I love being a console gamer, and I know at the end of the day, corporations, they got to make money and they see the future, this, that, or whatnot, but I want my console to still have its identity. I want my console gaming to still have its identity in comparison, and I don't think that's too much to ask. I think they can balance both those things and really come out on top, man. I don't see too much of an issue with kind of recognizing the difference between the two communities, sharing on a few things, but just letting each community still have their identity, No,
I feel what you're saying. I'm not saying that everything should be just one.
You're about to light that kumbaya candle, man.
No. I'm not saying everything should be as one, because it's not like you're going to get WoW or Guild Wars on the Xbox here in the next couple of months. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That PC is still going to be PC. PC is still going to have all these ways of how they can do whatever with games, with crazy mods and things of that nature. PC is always going to be in its own space, but consoles need to keep evolving in order to maintain with that. Because if consoles stay in this space, kind of like what PlayStation has done, or even what Nintendo is doing, it's all fun and cute right now, but they'll get so left behind by PC that more people will be gravitating to PC. That's where there's more PC gamers out there than there is the consoles combined.
It's funny when you talk about oh, my bad, dude.
No, you good.
No, see, you're talking about like PC leaving consoles and stuff behind, but like there's an article in the DM talking about there's these two guys who are getting sued by Epic Games for creating software where people, it helps people cheat in Fortnite. I didn't see the whole thing, whether it was the actual PUBG aspect to the game or whatnot, but that's something that's in the PC space that you don't see in the console space, and that's a part of that's a part of the PC world I don't want on console. You know what I'm saying? I don't want like that ability to create software. So I feel like Phil Spencer, Mikey Barr, the people that are heading these gaming hardware like companies, they need to recognize the fact that there is a difference on console. There are certain things that we don't want coming over here that kind of plague the PC gaming space.
That stuff is not going to come. That's the reason why there's so many devs that wants to come to console, because it's still, those things are still regulated and watched heavily. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Compared to what it is on the PC. You know what I'm saying? It's that I don't see that ever getting that far gone because of just, I think, well, maybe if it comes into like if you start having Steam on your consoles and in the cogs or whatever that GOG thing, whatever that thing is called, mm-hmm. where you can buy games, or G2A to where you can start buying games and undercutting the devs and shit like that. Until those things start being implemented on a console where you can go to those apps and buy games like that, I don't see that ever happening in the near future at all.
Here's the thing, Mega. Though we were talking. Just give me one quick second here. We were talking about the loot crates and stuff like that, and I think. What was it, Mega? Was it you that talked about the Call of Duty way back, and what they did with DLC, map packs, dividing the community and stuff? And we didn't talk about it then, right? So I think it's still a healthy conversation to bring this stuff up now, before you see those things like the GOG and stuff like that, like you said about buying games, undercutting the developers, having that on the platform. So this way, we might be able to talk about it before it happens and change it. Kind of like what we didn't do with Call of Duty and loot crates and DLC and stuff like that, man.
No, I didn't. Well, see there again, I didn't say that we can't have a discussion about it. I'm just saying this is the direction that Microsoft is going, and you feel let's go. And this is just where you can just tell the confidence. This is where their direction is they're going to go. And look, PlayStation is going their own way. Sony is going with services as well. They're doing more TV stuff, and there's things that they're doing that's excluding PlayStation owners.
Well, Sony's closer to streaming games than you even realize. With who's replacing Andrew House. I have his name written down here, but he was the head. Mm-hmm. He was the head of PSN. He created the PlayStation Store. It's all digital. That's the guy who's running PlayStation now. All digital. So streaming games is just like right around the corner. PS5, you know what I'm saying? That's where they're gonna go. So, but any other thoughts on this? What do you guys think about the two guys getting sued by Epic though? Like, isn't that kind of crazy? They're getting sued for copyright infringement. They're not like that's what they're claiming. They're two personal lawsuits against Epic Games. I kind of find it ironic. Because when it comes down to it, Fortnite was known for kind of like ripping off PUBG. So you talk about copyright infringement or stealing ideas and shit like that. Like Epic Games is suing two people personally, well, for creating software that helps people cheat on their game. But what do you guys think about that? Anybody? I'm not calling a name. Anybody?
Yeah, but no, I don't care about Fortnite. I really don't. So I just look. Yeah, you get it. Okay, so I don't really care. These guys, they got a little own taste of their medicine for what they did to PUBG. I mean, they felt that it was open game, and so the same come back. So regardless, it is what it is, man. I mean, there are people out there for what they did. They got a lot of people on board with their game, and they like it. And I don't have a problem with people liking the game or not. It's just the thing that once you start doing things, karma has a way of coming back on you eventually.
Dude,
and that's what they got.
Dude, when I was reading the interview, like I could swear, like Alanis Morissette was playing in the background. Like, isn't it ironic? That's like the first thing I thought of when I started reading the article. But yo, Pred, what do you think about this, man? Is it just them getting a dose of karma? And do you think it's anything's going to actually stand in court for these two guys, or I don't know.
They always have like a case, something like this every now and then, where the company, whoever does the cheating, gets sued for whatever reason. It happens every now and then. I'm pretty sure Epic will go all the way through with it. You got to think the game isn't even at full release yet, and they've already got people cheating on it already. So, I mean, it could just maybe to be they're just setting the example at this point. Since I said the game's not out yet, and it's PC gamers, man. They do this shit all the time. That's one of the reasons why, like you said earlier, we have our space, they have theirs, and those PC gamers like to go in there and manipulate stuff, and they do it on PUBG too. I mean, it happens on the PC space. It doesn't really happen that much on the console space, but. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit of taste of medicine, but I mean, like, if these guys aren't going to do it, somebody else will at some point in time too. I mean, someone else will crack that net code, and it'll be on Pirate Bay or something like that, and someone will come up with some bot or something like that to put in the game to make it not competitive anymore. So,
and see, it's when it comes down to it, we deal with what we call PC elitists all the time. That, you know, they talk about hardware and they talk about specs and how PC is the superior and all this good stuff. And, you know, if you put the money, invest your money in a rig and stuff, yeah, you're going to get like insane power. But what's going on when it comes to all the cheaters, the aim assists, the pirating, and all that stuff that plagues the PC community? How about if you elitists actually kind of stop talking about your hardware so much and start putting a little more effort into kind of like cleaning up those aspects of that community, so this way that community would actually be a little more attractive, and it's not just about, you know, who has the bigger rig, and it's not all about the power and all that good stuff, but it's about having a cohesive, competitive community where you don't have all these things to kind of look out for in terms of aim assist and people cheating and stuff like that. You know, when are they going to do that instead of just talking about their hardware? You know what I'm saying, guys?
They're not.
Yeah.
No, never.
How many people do you know that like bought a PC, an expensive rig, but play majority on console? You know, it's crazy. I think it's alluring. The allure of PC gaming is there, but like you mentioned, there's a lot of things that people don't take into account when it comes to PC gaming. So yeah, cheating is
huge.
It's kind of out of control, and I don't know, man.
That's what,
it's interesting.
Man, one of the things, consoles, ease of use. Not only ease of use, like, and I know, you know, when it comes to multiplayer PvP, people are like, well, they need to nerf this gun, they need to buff this gun. But can you imagine, like, dealing on the PC side of stuff? It's not just about how the guns and stuff were written into the game, but it's about all this extra added software that people have downloaded to cheat. Like that, I am so glad I am a console gamer. I don't feel a need to go to PC anytime soon, yo.
Yep. No, I agree. I mean, I have a gaming PC. I enjoy it for what it is, but I mean, it's the Wild West of gaming. It's just a no man's land. You can go some places and just be like I was playing. It was one of the CODs. One of the earlier CODs. And you know, I come in, you just knew the dude was cheating like crazy. You know what I'm saying? The no scope with the sniper, and I'm like, oh my god, how's this fun? Dude has got like he's 110 in 1 or 2, and you know, and I'm like, golly, you know what I'm saying? How could you find this to be fun or entertaining, and not be a part of, you know, of just the you know, just part of the community and just having good competition. I mean, there's some PC gamers out there that definitely do it. That does that, and you know that.
That sound like a car screeching. Like there was.
There's an old lady over here watching something. She's over here. Sorry, I was like, yeah, what are you doing? She comes into the domain, and then she's gonna be playing loud stuff.
Oh no!
You will get exiled. Anyway, so it's just one of the things, man. Like that's why I'm not worried when people keep saying I don't want this to be this way and that way, and game and consoles to turn into PC gaming. Once you go out there and see what PC gaming is actually about, like when you get out there and you start seeing that you're already behind when you bought your PC, you know what I'm saying, and then you got people clowning you because your PC is not up to their standards, or the game, or like if a game has a patch issue or something like that, and then like Nier Automata, that game just got abandoned. That game still needs to be patched. It's getting patched on the PlayStation 4, but it's not getting patched on the PC. Yeah, you got all the high textures, anti-aliasing, all that good shit. It looks fantastic, but when it starts buggy and when that chick starts running around and she's doing the hammer dance, then what are you going to say then? You know what I'm saying? So it's look, man, it is each their own. If they want to be a PC gamer and they want to be included into that type of garbage, that's fine. But I prefer my console, and I know my console is going to be fine for years to come, man. It's all good.
Nice.
It's all good.
Nice. Yeah, I am in that same boat, man. It's just every once in a while, like I said, like I got to go off a little bit, and the whole PC thing. Like all I ever hear is about hardware, and I'm like, damn guys, why don't you try cleaning up the community first? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we pretty much ran through the topics unless anybody else has anything to say about Epic Games or the kind of like the state of PC gaming. We are pretty much done, man. What anything? Last words? Anything?
I didn't get to touch upon the whole Phil Spencer thing.
No, you can't. No, I'm just playing, Salty. Go ahead, man.
Sorry, just real quick. It's just I don't know. His words kind of, I don't know if it would. It felt weird to me the way he was wording things because he got that promotion to the head of gaming, and the way he was wording things is like, okay, we're not focused on sales for consoles, we're focused on gaming. And then he talked about like the success of Minecraft, how it's on everything. Mm-hmm. And I can see where people are coming from when it comes to fearing them kind of stepping away from the console space and focusing on too many different things. Mm-hmm. But Microsoft is in the business and has always been in the business of getting into as many places as possible. That's why they first came out with the Xbox original. That's why it was green lighted and stuff like that. So I don't know, man. I just found it interesting. I have faith in Phil and what he's doing in this vision, but I can see how it would kind of throw people off and, I don't know, make them question, should I buy the Xbox One X? Because are they going in the right direction? I don't know, man. I was going to do a video about it on my channel, but it's interesting because his wording is clear. It's not like they're not like
definitely still just do the video, man. Like that'd be awesome to see you kind of like flesh everything out,
Mm-hmm.
But,
sorry.
Yeah, like I said, I have concerns as well. Like I'm not gonna lie, nobody's perfect. I do love what Phil has done with Xbox so far. He took the stigma of the hardware and he chucked that shit out the window, right? He made the shareholders happy when it came to, having Xbox on multiple like operating systems, whether it's Android, iOS, stuff like that. People are logging in to their Xbox Live on multiple devices. So he did that, check that. He talks about the next thing on the list is developing, new IP, new first-party studios, and go in on that. So I believe he's going to do that because he already did 2 of the 3 things he said. But like I said, at the heart of it, he does play on a lot of PC. So does Mikey Barra. So does a lot of people in the Xbox division. And I feel like they just really need to focus that the communities are different. And develop the communities as such, and then have those things that will lace them together in certain areas and promote those as well. But don't just try to smash everything together and just be like it's all games no matter what platform. Because I think you're gonna you're gonna hurt the division in the long run when it comes to that. I feel you will.
I disagree wholeheartedly, but I mean that's the beauty of what podcasts are, and people have different opinions. I'm like, look, if any of you guys buy PUBG and y'all have this thought process, then I think that you're a hypocrite, because if it wasn't for Play Anywhere and for the things that he's doing by catering to PC, I don't think that we would be seeing PUBG coming to the consoles. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, that's true as well, man. So I think Phil and them totally know, and it's not like Phil doesn't talk to Xbox guys in party chats and hear their concerns. It's not like this man does not hear what's going on. And I think that, and regardless, and for when people think that Phil is not going to be totally catered to the Xbox, then we wouldn't have the Xbox. We wouldn't have the Xbox One S, or we wouldn't have the Xbox One X. So, and that system is future proof. That thing is going to be doing its thing for a quite long time, especially when the price goes down, when it's going to be in competition with the PlayStation 5. So it is what it is, man. I have confidence in this man and his vision, and I may get called a corporate slave behind it, but I mean, damn, and Phil, I trust.
Dude, how long have you been called a corporate slave anyway?
Oh, man, I've been called a corporate slave since, man, it's been a minute. So, yeah, so it is what it is.
Fraud. Tummy sticks with Microsoft.
Oh, he said tummy sticks.
Tummy sticks.
But, Salty, am I right? Like, we're kind of on the same page when it comes to that, though, right, Salt?
Yeah, I don't know. I've heard, Zaire and all them talk about the situation. I think there's, the old guard, thought process with the 360 and stuff like that. And then people talk about Donnie D and all that other stuff. I don't want to hash
Don't
that.
start that shit.
I won't hash that. But, I think the thing that will dissipate the worries is when they announce the new IPs that they've been working on, like specific to exclusives. You know what I'm saying? Like they've invested $1 billion into first party titles. We just need to see some of those announcements come out, and I think people will kind of dissipate the worry factor.
I agree with that.
It's just, it's, I don't know. I have faith in a company that is $1 trillion company. They're making business decisions to they're making, like Mega said, he talked about the X. They wouldn't be coming out with the X if they wanted to get rid of consoles. Consoles are a part of their gaming plan. They talked to, Phil was talking about there's mobile space, there's PC, there's, Xbox, there's the One, the S, there's the original. They just want you to be a part of their ecosystem. They're not going to just dive bomb the console space because they want to promote PC. It's all in one. I think it's just they'll come out with the announcements and we'll move on with our business. But I have faith in the brand, and I have faith in Phil. So that's that.
In Phil, we trust.
Phil, we trust. Join the corporate slavery, as they call it.
Oh,
26.
That's so stupid. Anyway. Oh man.
All right. Well, Pred, is there any last words on this before we start doing our outros and our plugs and everything like that, man?
No, man, I'm good.
It's nice. Yo, Pred, with the brace on your leg, remember what I said before the show? You can't escape, man.
I can hop like a motherfucker now.
Oh man, but guys, absolutely awesome show today. Yo, huge shout out to everybody in the chat. The chat was absolutely lit tonight. If you guys go back and watch the show again, you're gonna hear me like chuckle at certain points in time. Yeah, it's because of some of the stuff that was going on in the chat was absolutely wild. But yeah, we got to do our outros like, a 40-year-old with a comb over. We got to get those plugs in. So let's start with our special guest, Mr. Saltiest Gaming. Man, why don't you let people know what you've been up to, your YouTube channel, and where people can get a hold of you, dude?
Yo, I'm very active on social media. Twitter, it's Saltiest Gaming. The I is a 1. Just hit 1,600 followers there. I love the community. I love interacting and talking about gaming. You could find me there. You can find me on Xbox at night. Usually, I'm on the West Coast, so I'm usually on there at night. And my channel is Saltiest Gaming. Like I said, we keep it salty. I do news, majority of the time it is Xbox, but I dabble in all things gaming because I'm passionate about it. And like I say in my videos, I'm passionate about gaming and talking with the community. So there's news videos. Like I said, I wanted to do a piece on Phil Spencer and his interview because I thought that was intriguing. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be doing a Cuphead giveaway. So who knows, Xbot, you might get that for free.
Oh, I've been trained in the ways of the mooch, so I will definitely enter for the giveaway.
So we're doing that. It's going to be in like a week or so. And yeah, the channel's growing quick. I've only been around for a couple months and we're over 600 subscribers. So we're growing quick.
Nice.
And I want to thank everybody in the community for being welcoming and, everything else. So yeah, that's it, man. Saltiest Gaming.
Awesome. Yo, it's good to hear the growth of your channel and everything like that. This community is absolutely incredible. And I will let everybody know that Saltiest is becoming my #1 troll on Twitter when I post Destiny 2 stuff, man. Just calls me a noob and stuff like that. Gets on my case, man.
Yeah.
Well, Predator, man, why don't you let people know what is going on with you, how people can get a hold of you, if you're going to autograph that brace once you're done with it and possibly put it in a giveaway or something. What's going on, man?
Hey, Predator_H2OS on Twitter. All my links to everything is on there. Steam, Xbox Live, Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, everything's on there. So follow me there. Also have a YouTube channel, Xbox After Party. I will be dropping a video tomorrow if I get up early enough, if I'm not high. So you can hear me in my voice right now. I feel like I'm ready to go to sleep. But So I'll drop a video if I get up early enough tomorrow, right before the Mooch and Crap show. I'm not going to do it live for obvious reasons, so I'll pre-record it and set it up so you guys can listen to it before the show. Other than that, catch me game. I play a lot of Ghost War, Ghost Recon, PvP. So if you guys want to try and find me on that, I'll be on that tomorrow morning, maybe a little bit later on tonight if I can stay awake. And outside of that, I'll see you guys next week.
Nice, man. Very professional. That was awesome. K Mega, first, we're gonna find out, all the shows that you're on and how people can get a hold of you. But I gotta ask you, man, how was having a show without your two trolls, either Dark or the Don, like not being on the show, man? Did it go smooth for you, man?
Oh yeah, it was a breeze. It was fantastic. I mean, you had some people on the show that had some common sense, and that goes a long way. I mean, sometimes we just got to listen to like old man babble when Optimus gets in there, and then of course we have Don when he gets out there and he starts rambling about his bike races, and then when he's saving foxes and nursing his man tit with some kind of creature of the wild. So I mean, I'm saying this was an enjoyable show. This is the type of show that we should have, and man, let's keep it rolling.
I actually caught it live the other day too for the first time forever.
Oh, what you talking? You talking about GRG? Yeah, I saw you on there. Yeah, man, it was our guest Pop Off Gaming, man. He was supposed to come on. He said he made some kind of wild excuse saying he was caught up in some kind of traffic or some kind of shit. It was wild, but I was like, but it was fun, man. The show in the last like 30 minutes always goes left. We was having a good conversation, but it was the ladies this time that really had everything popping off. But anyway, you can catch me hosting the GRG podcast on my channel, KMega405. Again, man, I thank you guys so much for the support and the love. Been doing this here for what, about 2 years, now. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's a little over 2 years maybe. But yeah, man, just to support the love, man. And it's fantastic. Also, big shout out to Intro Media Gaming. I do BGST, the multiplayer on Thursdays. And man, it's great. It's great. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
No doubt. And huge shout out, like I said, to the rest of the panel who could not make it. Of course, it's Oh Snap, It's Mel, who has her YouTube channel called Oh Snap, It's Mel. We have Dark Optimus, who, he's trying to live in an igloo in Southern California. It's just not working for him. His igloo keeps melting. We try to tell him common sense, you can't do it, but he's not listening. And of course the Don, who might be schmoozing. How do you say it? Schmoozing. There we go. A couple people in Washington State. There's a couple gaming companies up there in Washington State, and that's where he is right now. So as soon as I talk to him again, I'm not gonna let him go until I hear any type of information that's going on with him, as in being a developer. So huge shout out to the Don over there doing things for the future of his gaming development.
Do not give those people that Cambodian yak milk that you've been shouting out. Do not.
When you go to reach in the book bag and you're about to pull it out, say no. Just no. Put it back.
Say no.
But guys, the chat is filled with true gamers, man, and true gamers, they got to get the controllers in the hand. It is Saturday night. Thank you guys so much for coming and checking us out live. It's always greatly appreciated. You guys are the reason why we come together every Saturday and try to give the best, most informative, and entertaining gaming podcast that we can possibly do. You inspire us to go 110% all the time. Thank you so much. And like I always say at the end of every podcast, we will check you out next Saturday for the next podcast. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Boomer Sooner.
Oh, did they win?
Yeah, they won. They beat my Longhorns.